City Learners TV, learning made simple.
So, question D says, I have 10 having the power of x minus 1 equals to 1. 10 raised to power x minus 1 equals to 1. What am I expected to do? The same principle, ensuring that we have common basis on the both sides of the equation. And how do we do that? We're going to be applying the zero index law. The zero index law, which says any non-zero number that has the power of 0 is equal to 1. Okay, in this case, my next step will be 10 raised to power x minus 1 equals to, I will be reversing that zero index law for this number 10, for the two sides to have common basis. What am I trying to say? I'm changing 1 to 10 raised to power 0. Do not forget that 10 raised to power 0 is the same thing as 1. That is the zero index law. Any non-zero number having the power of 0 will automatically be 1. Okay, that is the law. So I have just changed this 1 back to 10 to have the same base on both sides. I actually reversed that law, that rule on this 1 to make it 10 raised to power 0, since 10 raised to power 0 is 1. Okay, so in that case, I have made both sides of equation to be the same. Okay, so the next step is to cancel the basis. And what do I have left? I have x minus 1 equals to 0. And just like I did in the last question we solved in the previous video, I simply put my x down here equals to, we have 0 here already. And don't forget the rule that when a number is crossing over to the other side of the equation, the sign of that number changes. In this case, minus 1 is crossing over to other side of the equation to become plus 1. So x equals to 0 plus 1 is simply 1. So the answer is 1. Question E says 2 raised to power x plus 1 multiplied by 2 raised to power 2 equals to 2 raised to power 5. This is an interesting exponential equation. How do we go about this? Please take note that the first law of indices is a product law or law of multiplication. Now we are having on the left hand side two numbers being multiplied together. And the law says if you are multiplying powers of two numbers that are common, you simply add up the powers. The law of product says if you are multiplying two powers of two numbers, in this case two numbers, and the two numbers are common, what you do to the power is to simply add it. And that is what we are going to be doing in this case. Okay, so we are picking one of the two bases on the left side of the equation, 2, and then what do we do? 2, and what do we do to their power? We have x plus 1, then we are adding it together to plus 2. Don't forget, the two bases are common. We pick one, and then this is the power of the first one, which is this one, and then the other power is this, and that is what we have done. We are adding all the powers together. There is no need to include bracket. I only did that for better understanding. So equals to the other side of the equation, 2 raised to power 5. Okay, the next step will be 2 raised to power x plus 1 plus 2, that is 3, equals to 2 raised to power 5. So in this case, I can cancel out my bases. They are common. Okay, what next? I have x plus 3 equals to 5. I'm going to have x on this side of the equation equals to, I have 5 here already. Don't forget, plus 3 is crossing over to this side. It will become minus 3. It will become minus 3. Plus 3 moving to the other side of the equation become minus 3. And then in that case, x equals to 5 minus 3 will be x equals to, if I take 3 away from 5, my answer will be 2. Final answer. So x equals to 2 is the final answer. Question F says we have 5 raised to power x minus 1 divided by 25 equals to 5 raised to power 2. 5 raised to power x minus 1 divided by 25 equals to 5 raised to power 2. Now, what are we supposed to do? On the left side of the equation, we have 5 and 25. So the first thing we need to do, we are going to look for a way to have common basis. And to do that, we will express 25 as a power of 5. What does that mean? We are going to look for the number of times 5 can be multiplied by itself to give us 25 so that we can achieve common basis. In this case, 5 will be multiplied by itself 2 times to give us 25. In other words, 5 having power of 2 multiplied by itself 1, 2 times is 25. So we'll be replacing this 25. We'll be replacing this 25 with 5 raised to power 2 in our equation. So we have 5 raised to power x minus 1 divided by replacing 25 now with 5 raised to power 2 equals to 5 raised to power 2. Now we can apply this division rule, the second law I talked about in my first video on this series. Okay, so what do we do when we are dividing two powers of numbers that are common? We simply subtract the power instead of dividing them. So, and we do that by picking one of the bases. So the next step will be, I pick one of the bases on the left side of the equation, and then the power for the first base is x minus 1. And then what are we doing? We are changing division to subtraction. Don't forget that. And then the power of the second base is 2 equals to the other side, which is 5 raised to power 2. So what are we supposed to do? From here, we have 5 raised to power x, okay, minus 1 minus 2 will give us minus 3. How do I get that? Imagine you are owing 1 naira minus 1, and you are still owing another 2 naira minus 2. Your debt has increased to 3 naira, and that is minus 3. So minus 1 and minus 2 will simply be minus 3 equals to the other side of the equation, which is 5 having the power of 2. So from this step, I can cancel out my bases. And then the next step will be to write out my powers as the equation x minus 3 power a equals to 2, as we did in the previous questions. So I have x equals to 2 written here. Don't forget, minus 3 crossing over will change to what? Plus 3. So x equals to 2 plus 3 is simply 5, being my final answer. And that is where I'm going to stop in this video. I encourage you to please look for more related past exam questions and your textbooks to improve yourself in this exponential equation. Ensure you subscribe, click on the notification bell, and ensure you comment, share this channel with another person that will also benefit from what we are teaching on this channel. Thank you very much for always coming back here to improve your studies. Bye.